Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my adventures on Quality's OP SMP. This is a modded SMP, which means a survival multiplayer world. So there are other people on here. I don't know when we'll run into them, but one day we probably will. But this is just my second video ever. It's still technically my first day, but you know, I can't make my videos infinitely long, unfortunately. But this is a modded Minecraft world, which is very exciting, and I have really been enjoying it. And I am ready to continue to explore and find what we can find. Last video, we kind of just explored around spawn, or kind of tried to get out of spawn, I won't even lie. It was dangerous. In the process, we ran into lions, elephants of course, but also bears. Lots of danger around everywhere. Oh, because my pickaxe is broken. I was like, why is nothing working? But eventually we did manage to get out of spawn a little bit and discover brand new exciting places, which brings you to today. We're still at spawn. I started recording because I saw a structure in the distance right over here. I don't know if it'll be dangerous, but I figured, you know what, we might as well get to recording and see what I can do right now to make ourselves a little bit more comfortable. Waystones are important. I don't know why I just said that, but they are. It's because it's in my inventory, I think. Actually, I want to see what the recipe is for a waystone. Okay, this is the standard recipe, so only this is a little bit more difficult, but I preferred this recipe over the old one because it wanted purple dye, or magenta, I can't remember, and that was just somehow so difficult to get, so this is honestly not too bad of a deal. Let's see. I want to have some food set up somewhere. Just a little bit of food. And then we will figure out exactly what we can do. But let's just continue gathering our stuff and get ready to continue going on an adventure. All right, we have organized, we've gathered the last little bits of coal that were around here. As much as I kind of want to dig into a cave and see if I can find iron and get fully geared out, I think I'll leave that to another day after we have explored some of this little building. I think this one will be friendly and will probably just give us food, which is why I'm not too worried about going to it in the middle of the night. It is looking village-like right now, which I actually don't really mind. I have found some of my best loot yet at villages, so I guess we might as well continue on this adventure, exploring some more villages along the way. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna trample this whole area, and it's so sad. I do apologize, villagers, but I mean, like, you're not getting up here, so I might as well trample the crops. Okay, let's see what we can find in this village. I just came so close to dying because of a crab. Oh my goodness. I am weaker than I ever thought I was. You know what, that's okay, but I do wish it weren't the case. Whew, I thought I'd be safe out here. I'm safe nowhere. Well, this village was a successful way for me to spend the night. It was a pretty fun place. We do have another waypoint in there, so if I do in the future want to come back, that is entirely possible. But I believe I might have found some very, very powerful loot that you see me holding right here in my hand. I haven't looked at it too much, especially because, once again, it is requiring the research table, so I do want to craft that at some point. But it is called an infinity ham, and I do wonder what would happen if I were to eat it. And you see, I ate it a bunch and it still exists. Oh my god, it's a snail. Wonderful. Oh, that is a creeper. Do not blow up that snail. And I do wonder if I could eat from this infinitely, which if I paired that with the backpack upgrade, which just allows me to eat from my backpack, I would never have to worry about food again. Which is an insane thing to realize, like, on like your first or second day. I'm like, I could be fed forever and ever right now. But let's see what we can find in this little house. This ham, you see, it's regenerated. So maybe I can't eat from it if it has 0 food left. It needs some time to regenerate because I believe when I found it in a chest, it looked just like a bone. And right now, as we can clearly see, it looks like a full piece of ham. So I'm thinking there is a chance that this is just infinite ham. So I was gonna say we're gonna go into the mines. I would love to find like a proper fighting dungeon. Or at least one slightly less peaceful than ones we have been in. But I do want to also go into the mines and get, you know, this this backpack upgrade. But then I looked at the mini-map, and I don't know if you can see where I'm headed, but I saw what looked like a little bit of a crash site. Oh, and a fun little cave. Oh, this is exciting. We also saw a little bit of a tower there. I don't know if you saw. I definitely saw the tower though. There it is. Do we think it's been found? I believe this is useful for applied energetics. I always call this applied energetics, but it's applied energistics. So do with that information what you will. Let's see if I can get up here. And let's, you know, apart from exploring, I guess do the first real, like, actually useful thing. Unless this has been looted. Now the stone takes a while to break, and that's okay, we can be patient. Now this is what I knew was going to be down here. It is a mysterious cube. Now this is important for applied energetics. I believe we could have crafted this as well, but it just is kind of expensive to craft. And so to just have access to it I think is very, very nice. But we do not need any of this now. I will eventually probably get to this mod. It has a very nice storage system, which I do enjoy. But that day is most certainly not today. This is also a beautiful block, by the way, in case you wanted my opinion on block structures. Big fan of that one. Let's see if we can head into the little cave thing we saw, you know? I'm very excited. It's early days in this this new world, and I just want to explore and find a bunch of different structures. Eventually I'll have to settle down. You know, I won't have backpack space forever. For now, I sure have enough backpack space to explore. Let's do this the safe way. Okay, let's go down. See if we can breathe. And down we go, because this is gonna be dangerous. So far, like, no like breaks in the wall where we can go or anything. I feel like this might be our first real taste of danger today. And since starting this server, which is exciting. What's out there? That's just like a whole cave, I think. But what is making light? Oh, there's a whole camp out there. Ooh, how exciting. Okay. Why am I hearing so many creepers? And can they not? This is kind of scary with all these creeper sounds, I won't lie. Okay, it looks like an overgrown tunnel. Let's set up a little base for right now. There's a couple things I want to do. So let's see if I can get them done. First things first, I would like to make a couple, like at least one more backpack, and for that we need leather. So let me see if I can get some leather from my rotten flesh. There we go. And we get those in a second. Then what I do want to make, let me just at least save these recipes. Because it's gonna be a little bit more expensive than we can currently afford, but I think it'll be okay. I think we can just do the regular one. I don't think we need the advanced one for now. Then the other one I do really want is just the feeding upgrade, but that one is going to cost us a little bit more time. So for now I think we let it be. But first things first, let's make ourselves another backpack. Now you might be wondering, why do we need another one? You know, we already have one. It's nice and on our back. This one I'm purely gonna use for food. Cooked and uncooked, just all of it. Food ingredients I think as well while we're here. So this, as you can see, is a much smaller one. This is what a non-upgraded backpack looks like. And we are going to make do with what we can. And just, you know, keep our food up here. We don't currently, you know, need all of this. These creeper sounds are terrifying. Might as well keep it organized. This is the only one we really need, if we're being so for real. But we might as well keep the rest in here as well. And now we're good. These creepers are crazy. Okay, we can probably make this. We're out of string. Okay, that's fine, I guess. We can come back to this later. Let me put some of this stuff away. And then I think it's important that we kind of find a way out of, or let's keep exploring this area before, you know, we get too far. Do we think it has enough fuel to smelt this one? Yeah, I think we're good. Okay, there we go. And just as soon as we get, you know, a couple more pieces of string. Actually, we can get string in here. I'm thinking now. My brain has unlocked its capacity for thought. Which way is the way out? Let me place some torches. Just a couple of them. And while I'm here, I do want to maybe break some of these. So I can get a little bit of string. And then we should be able to make the upgrades I'm wanting to make. But this is a cool structure, and I don't think I've ever explored this one before. Which makes it extra cool in my head. Alright, let's try and keep going. It's our first real, like, bridge out of here. Let's see what we can find. This is very exciting. I don't know if this place is going to have any kind of loot. I don't know anything about this place. But I do know that we are also, you know, mining. So I think it'll be nice to just pick up a couple things every now and then. And hopefully we find something exciting. I'm very excited. It is a mess, but all the best things are. This is a mob spawner. I know what I'm looking at. I've played Minecraft before. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it tricked me. You never know with modded Minecraft. Anything could be hidden behind the walls. Yeah, so this looks like it's a very standard mine shaft, but then modded. It's overgrown, right? These are all structures we know and love. So it's just a modded version, I think, of like a regular old mine shaft, which are some of my favorite structures to explore. And I could be down here forever and ever. Ooh, another level. But this kind of just breaks down instantly. Okay. Well, let's see if we can find anything fun and interesting. Okay, as much as I could keep exploring in this little mine shaft area forever and ever, and it is proving to be quite fruitful, I do believe we have mined, or these have intersected into a different mod with some different exciting fun stuff, because I do believe I recognize that little area I saw right up ahead there. And I do recognize these drinks. Oh boy, we are in for an exciting adventure. For sure. What drink was that? Oh, a music this cat. Okay, so this is still the mine shaft. But as you see, these blocks, these don't belong in a mine shaft. They belong in this room, which I do believe was the structure that we saw up on the surface. So let me see if I can find where this started. I hope they haven't intersected in a way that makes any of this more difficult to live through, but I think we'll be okay. But there is a starting room to this, and it is not super important that we find it, but it might be nice. Let's see what I can collect. And let's hope we can find our way out of here. Okay, I have yet to find the starting room for this entire structure, but the starting room isn't too important. I think we can actually get to that from outside. I think I saw it at the surface, but this is the way down to the next level. And how this works is you've got a bunch of different levels, and the monsters in the levels will get more difficult, but the good news is your loot will get better. And so with just a little bit of time, we should actually be able to get some decent starting loot out here, which is why a place like this is always something I try to find in any new world, solely because they give you a whole lot of loot that ends up being useful. So this was something I was sort of looking for. Now you see chests, but you also have spawners. And I'm leaving the spawners be just because this is, like I said, a shared world, so I don't want to be, you know, breaking any of these spawners if they could be useful to somebody else. But I'm also learning as we go along. You see I found myself some gloves. I had leather gloves, now I have chainmail gloves. Unbreaking ones at that. So I guess these are cool. Let me make sure they're invisible though. And just like that, we explore everything out here, and we should, in theory, be finding some pretty good loot in a second. Maybe this is useful? I don't know what it does, but it probably is useful. So I guess I can put it with the rest of my books. I've managed to find the starting room. I also nearly managed to die. There was a skeleton that somehow had arrows that shot lightning, and it was an awful experience, but luckily I had already crafted a sword. Okay, we weren't at the bottom layer, so I guess I'm gonna explore this top layer really quickly, because I just want to explore everything, but at least we know the correct way to go. And we should be relatively quick in getting down to the lower levels. But this mod I've explored before. I do love this specific dungeon, and I think it's a good intro as well, because you do start out with easier mobs and it gets more difficult over time, but they also give you better loot, so you are actually kind of sort of equipped to deal with those more difficult mobs as well, which is why I think it is a good starting room, and one I was sort of looking for in my quest to get here. So I'm gonna enjoy my looting, and I guess I'll see you when I'm ready to go down to the lower levels. I do think that this time I have managed to find the actual entrance to this building, so luckily we didn't skip too many levels, only really one. But already I think we're gonna get some excellent loot. I just found a golden apple, which normally would be good anyway, because it's good in a pinch if I'm in a mob fight, but I also really needed one to make this feeding upgrade, and it's cheaper to find one than it is to craft one, so I'm happy I did find one. But there you go, this is what this structure sort of looks like from the outside. So it is the one that I had seen in the distance. There's nothing really up there, it's only once you go down that the real adventure begins. But now that we have explored the first two levels, it's time for us to get down to the lower levels and see what awaits us there. Alright, we have reached the lower level, and just like immediately, don't know if you can see this, but immediately we are in danger. There's spiders just like right outside our door. And that is not a fun time. Luckily, I'm good at this. And they shouldn't be able to come through this tiny gap, but I should be able to hurt them a whole bunch. Hopefully this torch is close enough that they're no longer spawning. But now we get to actually, you know, doing this structure and not doing it backwards, which is what we have kind of been doing. And we get to sort of look for the next floor, rather than, you know, being like 2 floors down and looking for the floor above us. Now we're going to be looking for the floor below us. So let's see what type of loot we can find. And if we have reached, I think we might, yeah, we have. So before we were on the like brick floor, now we're on the stone floor, which does mean we have kind of reached a new level of difficulty. So we are going to have to be a little bit more careful, but the loot should also increase just a little bit. So hopefully we get some fun stuff down here. Okay, so I might have died to a little bit of a creeper explosion, but you know what? It's so chill because my death is only 1500 blocks away. Actually, that's a lie. Yeah, it is 1500. Okay, well, you know what? Just a little bit of walking, never hurt no one. And we're back like nothing ever happened. Okay, backpack. Oh no, I thought that went through the gaps in the floor. So what happened is I was walking here, and then I did fall through the floor, and I managed to pillar all the way up, only for then, because the creeper was also down there, and I pillared up before it could hit me, but then I came up here and then a creeper was also just up here. So that was unfortunate, but I believe we're back like nothing ever happened. And I picked up some melon slices on the way, which is awesome because we need melon slices for this. So now I think we do actually have all the materials to make this upgrade, which is most exciting. Most exciting indeed. Let's get organized really quickly and continue exploring. But before we get too carried away with all of the looting we're about to be doing, let's see if I can't quickly craft this upgrade. We're gonna need, you know, a couple of things, but I think we've got it figured out. Okay, so to start we need to craft one of these, for which we do of course need just a little bit more of this and some of this. And this is why looting structures like this is incredible, because it truly does just make it so much cheaper to do everything. Like, we have all of these materials just at our disposal right now, and we haven't really had to mine for any of them, which is very, very nice indeed. Okay, let's just craft what we need to be crafted. One of these. One of these. Perfect. And this can go back in here. And then we do this. Now, we go to this backpack and we put this in here. And I put this guy up here. And we're gonna allow this guy. Okay, I think it'll figure itself out, maybe. Because usually what you can do is you can say, I only want to allow this. But because the infinity ham is maybe magical, I don't think it's working. So we're just gonna leave it like this and see if it'll feed us in a second. But now we should, in theory, be getting auto-fed, which is very nice. The other two that I did want to make, and I do have space for, perfect, is some of these guys. So let's make ourselves a chest. And then we have this crafted, and then last but not least, let's craft ourselves. Actually, we're gonna craft... Actually, let's keep it to one. We somehow lost our furnace in, you know, the whole endeavor. We only have one piece of redstone. Okay, we'll keep that in mind then. And as we're going through this adventure, we're gonna try and get ourselves just a couple more pieces, I believe. We just need like 7 more. And then life will be good again. Let me open this one up just really quickly so I can put some of this stuff back. And we are ready to continue on our adventure. Now, if you ever come across a room like this, all you missed is me running around to place these spawners with some torches so nothing can spawn. But you might think, what a terrible room. I have to fight all of these mobs for no reward. There's no chests here. But you'll notice we have little blocks of quartz. Which either have another spawner behind them, or for the sake of this example, nothing, or for the sake of this example, nothing, or for the sake of this example, they sometimes hold chests. Okay. What terrible luck we had there. I've never just not had anything spawn in there before. But it's fine. We got a nice helmet from one of the skeletons that was here. And I guess that is enough. And this is another end room. So we have explored one corridor and there's many more for us to explore. But we have some awesome loot. I'm very excited to get some more golden apples as well. And just a bunch of like mob drops, some iron and stuff like that, which I think in the end will be very beneficial to us. And right now getting quartz is also a very useful block to have. And I believe with this click of my mouse, we should be getting our very first diamond. We are doing incredibly well. And I'm very proud that I've only died once in this adventure. I wish I could say I hadn't died. Unfortunately, that would be a lie. And I think this is some interesting generation that I'm not used to. So I think we're getting some structures crossing over each other. Oh, we just heard our backpack eat, so we do know that works as well. Very good to know. Let's see what we can do over here. Ooh, I'll take some horse armor. So it does look like, once again, we do have the 2 structures that the one that we first entered in and the one that we've been in for a while now, kind of overlapping a little bit, but I don't think it messed with the world generation a little too much. And either way, I've already discovered the way down to the next level, so I'm not too worried about it. But it is interesting to see all of the fun ways that these worlds interact. And just like that, we have reached the start of a brand new, well, starter room, I suppose, and it's up to us once more. Whoa! A stoneling! Okay. It's up to us once more to find out exactly where the entrance is, or to the next level, and to also loot everything. But the mobs, they're getting more difficult. I believe this guy has a diamond sword, so we're gonna have to be a little bit careful. And the loot just keeps on looting. We are now getting some very exciting diamond armor as loot, which is definitely something that is exciting. But also, as you can see, the natural generation of the cave has sort of interfered with this mod. So whenever this happens, you know, with modded Minecraft, you never quite know what you're gonna get because mods interact. So you just kind of hope that they don't interact in a bad way, by which I mean that like any of this, for example, destroys the next level, but I think we're okay. And you know what this does allow us to see? Some random little area over here. Lots of crabs too, in case you were curious. Let me see if I can just scare all of them away. They tend to kind of run once I hit them. Except that guy. That guy's brave. But yeah, I think the loot we're getting from where we're at is just a little bit better than this. Oh my goodness, that could have killed me. Whew! Scary, scary times. You know, I wasn't necessarily expecting to see a tortoise. What is it? At Y level 0? We are... I didn't want to hit it. I was trying to get this torch back. Oh, that's a spider. Don't want to accidentally hit the tortoise. There we go. But we are looking good. Our loot is looking good. I have found the way down, which is to the nether level, which I do believe is the last one in this little specific cave dungeon situation. So I think that'll be exciting. I do have one more corridor to explore though, to get some more incredible loot. But without further ado, let's descend into hell. Now, if I remember correctly, this is the last level of this dungeon. It also does have some redstone, which you know we need. But it is also the most dangerous of all of the levels, and it is quite scary. So I am kind of excited to do this, if I'll be honest. There we go. Now we can start smelting some stuff. So let's get this going. And this will automatically just keep smelting while I'm away and busy doing stuff. But let's face this last hurdle together. This area is currently looking a little bit dangerous, so let's start with that one. You know, I feel like all of these skeletons are doable just because the very first skeleton I had to deal with down here had a special upgrade on its bow that quite literally meant it was shooting lightning at me. And lightning, believe it or not, does tend to hurt. So that was just absolutely terrifying. And so I'm very glad to see that now everything is just a little bit calmer. Just a little bit. Now, we're meant to be getting incredibly good loot down here. I've got apples and I've got bread and a zombie trying to kill me. And something that I do not recognize, and I'm going to die. No, I'm so much better than that. I'm not going to die. I'm going to take myself a regeneration. I'm going to run in this direction. I'm gonna stay so very calm. Oh my goodness. There. Nothing to worry about. A Wilden Wing. It can be used to make a tablet of summon. Okay. Tablet of Moonfall. Leather. Tablet of Flight. Grants nearby players the flight effect when they jump, allowing them to creatively fly for a short time. Okay, so this could be fun. Sets the time to night. It will summon a monster. Okay, we can make some potions of leaping with it. You know, I currently can't really tell you how useful this would be, but I guess we've got it now. I guess we have got it. Let's just put it here for now. We went through all of that uncooked food. That was probably not very smart of me. But next time it'll work out better. Okay, we stay safe. I think I'm in danger. Just a guess here. I think I might be in danger. Just a little bit though. Just a little bit. Oh my goodness, I must have missed a spawner around here. Oh my goodness, we're in danger. We're in grave, big danger. But we're okay. We're okay. We're so okay. We've never been better. This new combat system also is a little bit difficult for me to get used to. But I will learn eventually. Whew, okay, time to go back down. Okay, we got our stuff back. The creeper spawner has been disabled. Actually, me dying there was kind of useful because it unspawned just all of the mobs. So we're doing good. I think we have this floor left to explore and then one more below, but luckily that is at the same level as this one. And then we should have looted everything here and become so much richer. I might die again. That was to be expected. Honestly, that last room area is so difficult. Once again, got my stuff back, and once again, me dying has kind of helped out because I was able to light up all of the spawners that I was not able to light up before because there were no mobs here. So now it's time to loot. And this might honestly be the last floor because I've been into both of these corridors and I have yet to find a single way down. So I do believe that the only way left to explore is this direction. And just like that, I do believe we have now explored all of this dungeon. And boy oh boy have we gotten looted out. We have, well, let me show you all the armor. Diamond helmets, iron chestplate, diamond leggings, iron boots. We did lose our boots in the last death where everything sort of exploded, but we didn't lose too many other important things. We did lose our quiver with arrows. Through this progress, we have also gotten diamond gloves, which gives us a plus 75 attack damage. Very cool. And our backpack is more than full. I definitely will have to clear this out, get maybe a separate little backpack, but we have so much loot and all that stuff I don't even really know the use for. This magic mirror, which I need the researching table for. This warp scroll, which I think works like a waystone but maybe single use, I'm not too sure. And just a whole bunch of iron and gold and a couple of diamonds and just a couple of coal blocks, which if you know me, you know I love coal blocks, so I'm very, very excited. But I think we've explored this dungeon to the max. It is also now been made safe, I guess. So no mobs should be able to spawn in spawners. They can still spawn because it's dark, but they shouldn't be able to spawn in spawners, which is very nice. So if I ever want to come back to farm for materials, I should be able to do so. But I do think we have faced our battles, had a good time doing it, and yes, we've died a couple times, but we didn't let that hold us back, and now we are more powerful than ever. Maybe next time I need to consider settling down, making home somewhere, finding out where the others are living and going to join them, or somewhere around there. But for now, I've still got adventure in my heart. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like, comment, or subscribe. I do always appreciate all of your support, and hopefully I'll see you again very, very soon in this world or the next. Alright, have a good one. Bye-bye!